What's up, gamers? It's Above, and in today's video, we have a Solstice of Heroes guide for 2022. The two most common questions I received in my live stream today were, what exactly is Solstice, and is this year's event worth farming? In short, this year's Solstice event is completely based around God-rolled armor farming, and though it's a bit confusing at first with all the different currencies that we're dealing with, the payoff for your grind is well worth it. This year's event is easily one of the best armor farms we've ever had in Destiny, period. Whether you're a solo player or an endgame player who farms Artifice armor regularly, this video is for you. Solstice gives players control of the stats that they want, which means triple 100s and max resilience is easier than ever before. If you enjoyed today's video, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's get into it. So what exactly is Solstice of Heroes? This year's event is essentially a god roll armor farm. It allows you to what they call imbue your Solstice armor, which means we get to pick a guaranteed 20 plus stat of our choosing. But to get there, we have to complete several key steps first. Visit Eva in the tower, and once you've made your way through the first Bonfire Bash, which was previously known as the EAZ, it's time to farm for a currency known as silver leaves. These are earned by completing normal in-game activities while wearing Solstice armor. The more pieces you have equipped, the faster your silver leaf gains. But it's not too significant over running a single Solstice piece. And if you do wear just one in endgame content, for example, I recommend that it be your class item to avoid messing with your builds. So which activities are the most efficient to farm? Well, we tested several activities, including strikes, Grandmaster Nightfalls, Crucible, dungeons, and even the Witch Queen campaign. Most had relatively poor returns, and the difficulty of activities didn't seem to scale the rewards whatsoever. So unfortunately, the most optimal method was campaign checkpoint farming within the investigation mission from the Witch Queen campaign, though you will need a fire team to do this. This farm has been used for weapon XP leveling in the past and has not been patched for Solstice either. To be optimal with this farm, run the normal campaign mission up to the final checkpoint prior to meeting Finch. And once here, have one of your fire team members change characters to hold the checkpoint. They can then join back while you're running over to Finch, and all three of you will receive 12 to 15 silver leaves per run. Rinse and repeat this by joining your teammate with the checkpoint, which makes this farm unbelievably fast and easy. I dislike this type of grind as much as the next person, but it is extremely efficient if you're wanting to optimize this event. If you're a solo player, Mayhem and the Strike playlist are going to be your best bet here. Once you've capped out at 100 silver leaves, head to the Bonfire Bash activity in the tower. This will turn your leaves into ashes, which we will use as our currency to imbue the armor for those plus 20 stats that I mentioned earlier. While you're transforming the leaves into ash, you want to simultaneously focus on completing the event challenges found within your Solstice card. These are essentially bounties that you need to complete within the Bonfire Bash activity and reward a currency called kindling. Some of these challenges are relatively simple, while others will require more focus and attention to complete. We'll need to fully rekindle our armor to spend the ash that we've earned. I started by upgrading my base Solstice gauntlets to small kindling, then large kindling, and finally finished off with fully rekindling my armor. And once it's fully rekindled, you can finally imbue that piece of armor as I mentioned at the start of the video. This will consume 120 ash per armor piece, so make sure that before you focus that you have a ghost armor mod equipped. This will guarantee a 10 plus stat on each piece of armor, but must be a different substat than the imbued focus, as Bungie doesn't allow them to stack. I chose to imbue for resilience due to the damage resist changes this season and focused my ghost on recovery for neutral game benefits, but you can adjust these based on your needs. There is a ton of potential here. Chevy posted a great example on Twitter of just how powerful this armor focusing can be. Now this is where things get a little crazy. You can manipulate armor focusing even more to get exactly what you're looking for. In case you didn't know, armor stats are divided into two substat families. The first is mobility, resilience, and recovery, and the second group is discipline, discipline, intellect, and strength. Legendary gear maxes out at 68 total base stats, and within this total, the substat families can have a maximum of 34 base stats apiece. This means that you will never see legendary armor with substats that exceed 34 across mobility, resilience, and recovery. As you can see, when I imbued for a guaranteed 20 resilience and then focused for a guaranteed 10 recovery with my ghost, all three pieces rolled with 20 resilience and 12 recovery. These combined for 32 total base stats, which leaves, you guessed it, a maximum of 2 mobility on every piece. So what does this mean? How can we use this to our advantage? Well, say you're a hunter main and have already farmed 100 mobility armor, but are lacking resilience after the damage resist changes. In this case, since we want to avoid mobility as much as possible, we would imbue for resilience and ghost armor focus for recovery. This guarantees that the mobility stat will drop no higher than 2. Or, say your build is currently sitting at tier 9 mobility, tier 8 resilience, and tier 9 recovery. You desperately want triple 100s, but you need the perfect piece of armor to get you there. In this situation, if we imbued resilience and focused recovery, we'd hit 2 tier 100 stats, but would fall short on mobility. So instead, you'd actually want to imbue resilience and then ghost mod focus something like discipline in the lower substat family. This way, RNG has the ability to split the 14 available substats in the top substat family, which could theoretically get us to that triple 100 threshold. Pretty cool, huh? Once you've fully rekindled one of the armor slots, as I did with my Titan's gauntlets, all future Solstice gauntlets on this character will already be fully rekindled and ready to focus with Ashe. You can then buy additional gauntlets from Eva in the tower, and as long as you have Ashe to spend, you can farm these god roll gauntlets until you have the perfect build that you're looking for. You can then rinse and repeat this with every other piece of armor on every single character, which should last you quite a while throughout this event. Anyways, guys, I hope you found this guide useful, and if you did, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. You can also catch me live over on Twitch at twitch.tv/above, where we stream Destiny almost daily. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.